What's going on, guys? It's Brandon back here again today for another season preview, and this time it's the Seattle Kraken. I tried getting this video up again yet last night, and I never had a chance, so we're just a day behind officially. GM, Jason Botterill, brand new GM, questions because he was the GM of the Buffalo Sabres, and that really did nothing for them. Coach is Lane Lambert, who's also brand new, last coach of the New York Islanders. We'll see how his systems work with the Seattle Kraken. Dan Bilesma only got 1 year, which I was surprised. First line, Jaden Schwartz, $5.5 million until 2026. Matty Beniers, $7.142 million until 2031. And Capo Caco, $4.525 million until 2028. Then you have Jared McCann, $5 million until 2027. Chandler Stevenson, $6.25 million until 2031. And Jordan Eberle, $4.75 million until 2026. So if Seattle, by chance, finds themselves out of the playoffs, I could see Schwartz and Eberle definitely being two pieces that they could haggle with at the trade deadline. Among that, you also have the bottom six forwards who could also be haggled. Marchment, $4.5 million until 2026, brought in from Dallas. Shane Wright, RFA in 2027, and Ellie Tolvanen, another one that could be haggled, $3.475 until 2026. Then you have Ty Cartier, $1.25 million until 2027, where he will be an RFA. Freddie Gaudreau was brought in from Minnesota, $2.1 million until 2028, and Nyman, RFA in 2027 as well. So some other younger players starting to come up. You have Beniers locked up, but you have Wright, you have Cartier, and you have Nyman to look forward to. Forward depth, you have Stevens, Hayden, and Myers, proven bottom six, 13th forwards. Winterton is an RFA in 2026. Saleh, RFA in 2028. Villeneuve, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Villeneuve, I don't know. RFA in 2028. And then the big two are the former first-round picks. Apologies about that. Had a phone call to take. Where were we? Yes, the two young forwards who were taken early in the first round, both this year and last year. Berkeley Cadden and O'Brien. I don't know why I was about to say Shane. Shane O'Brien played like 15 years ago. Both are RFAs in 2028 and have signed their entry-level deals. We'll see if they make the team out of training camp. I doubt it, but we shall see. Berkeley Cadden might. No, O'Brien, I think, needs a year. Looking at the defense, Vince Dunn, $7.35 million until 2027. Adam Larson, $5.25 million until 2029 is extended. Ryan Lindgren's brought in, $4.5 million until 2029, and then you have Brandon Montour, $7.142 million until 2031. Him and Beniers have the same exact cap hit. That's strange. Alexiak could be another trade chip, $4.6 million until 2026, and you have your young defenseman Riker Evans, $2.05 million until 2027, where he will be an RFA as well. On the defensive side, you don't have many young defenseman prospects, but you have some depth. You have Mahura and you have Hayden Fleury. On the goaltending side, you have Decord, $5 million until 2030. And then the Grubauer cap hit, $5.9 million until 2027. Depth-wise, you have Matt Murray, $1 million until 2026. You have Coco, RFA until 2027. And although he's not on the board, you also have Oslin. Looking at additions, Marchment, Gaudreau, Lindgren, and Matt Murray. Subtractions, Burakovsky's traded to Chicago for Veleno, who they bought out immediately, and Asimont was signed in Boston after coming over at the deadline. So not really much change in this team. It's a lot of what people are saying middle six forwards, and I see that 100% in another phone call. Sorry about that once again. Hopefully no more interruptions. So, yes, not a lot of turnover, a lot of middle six forwards are what people are calling this team. And it's understandable. You have Jaden Schwartz, who's past his prime. Kako really hasn't fully developed into a first-line forward. Eberle's on the back end of his career. Stevenson has not lived up to this contract after year one. McCann is one of the only ones you could say, yeah, he's a top-line forward. Marchment, Tolvanen's a good forward. Middle six, I'd say. Cartier and Nyman haven't taken that next step to be beyond middle six. And Gaudreau is middle six, bottom six. So, understandable why people are confused about the direction of this team. And looking at their place in the standings, they were 7th in the division this season, and I really can't see them leapfrogging anyone. San Jose being the only one that I think they could really be better than, and maybe Anaheim if they have a good year. I want to put their entire history on the board. Like, usually I do like their playoff, like how many years they made the playoffs in a row or how many years they missed the playoffs in a row. For Seattle, since they've only been in the league, this is going to be their 5th year. I wanted to put everything on the board. Starting in 2021-22 when they came into the league, 27-49-6 record for 60 points, 30th in the NHL. They did not have that same luck in the expansion draft as the Vegas Golden Knights did. And that's a video I plan on doing in the future, comparing those expansion drafts and comparing where they are now, as Vegas and Seattle have taken two very different trajectories in their expansion since their expansion. 2022-23, they have a really good season. They go from 60 points to 100. 46, 28, and 8, 100 points for 12th in the NHL. So people are like, all right, it just took them a year to get into it. They had their expansion year. That's notable. The expansion teams never usually have a good first year. But their second year, they have 100 points, and they look to build upon that. 2024, they fall right back down to the middle point. 34, 35, and 13, 81 points, 24th in the league. So that's where I figured, okay, 60 points was low, 100 points was high, 80 points right in the middle. That makes the most sense of where this team is. In 2024-25, reinforce that. 35, 41, and 6 for 76 points, 28th in the league. Now it's about building up because you have a lot of expiring deals. You have some young forwards almost ready to come into the lineup. I'm looking at Saleh, I'm looking at Kraken, I'm looking at O'Brien. Those three really stick out to me. On the defensive side, you probably need a top prospect there to really get going. I mean, you only really have Evans in terms of young defensemen. Everyone else is into their late 20s, early 30s, and in case of some of these guys, mid-30s. So it's going to be about building up that defense, seeing guys like Nyman and Cartier, Kraken, O'Brien, Saleh, Winterton, all these guys develop and to insert themselves into the lineup. Because Marchment's going to be a free agent. Tolvanen, I believe, is an RFA, so he might be able to stick around. But he's also not as young of an RFA, so he might be expendable at the trade deadline. Then you have guys like Schwartz, who are older, probably going to move on. Eberle's their captain, so they might let him stick around. But also, I think he could be a valuable trade chip at the deadline. Anyway, guys, that's going to be all I have for you guys in this one. And I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. Have a good one.